Hey everybody, welcome to the Take a Webcast. I'm Dave Paulson. Joining me once again this week is Cindy Watts. I am happy to be back. My boss brought this up. She said, are you going to bring up a bit of news that's been happening? And I'm going to share it with you all. My wife and I welcomed our first baby, Charlie, a couple of weeks ago, and so that's where I've been, but I'm back and everyone's great. And because of that, I had family on my mind. And Cindy, you wrote a story for the family section this week about a country singer who has a few kids of her own.
Yep, Sara Evans is making us all look bad. She has 3 kids of her own. Her husband has 4. Together they have 7. She gets up every morning at 6 o'clock and makes a hot breakfast. I do good to get through the drive-thru in the morning for my kids on the way to work.
Right.
And even if she plays a show in like Chicago, she gets on the bus right after the show and rides all the way back to Birmingham, walks off the bus into the kitchen and starts making bacon.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And on top of that, bacon, kids, breakfast,
and new music.
There's new music as well, right?
Her new album, Slow Me Down, is in stores on Tuesday. She's super excited about that. Had several collaborations on the album, some pop-leaning ones, some super country stuff. It's just really diverse.
Cool.
And she's one of many country artists. It's like apparently Q1 is the time to put out new music.
Mm-hmm. First quarter.
Yep, first quarter. David Nail, Dierks Bentley, Cole Swindle, Eli Young Band, Frankie Ballard, Eric Church, and Eric Paslay all have new albums out.
Yeah.
Right now.
And it's not just country. I mean, it's all across the board. There's a new Beck album out. There's a bunch of stuff happening the next few months, and touring season's really cooking up. Well, that's awesome. And I should also mention we have a few best bets we got to hit this weekend. We're hearing that maybe it's going to be a little warmer. Do you know anything about the weather? In general, or this weekend?
You know what? I think they lie. Earlier this week, they said it's going to be like 55 on Wednesday or Tuesday. I froze all day long. I don't trust them anymore.
Well, not the Tennessean though. The Tennessean, when we report
Tennessean
the weather,
is absolutely correct. Okay. But the news stations, they lie.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to start sticking my hand out the window. I think there's a Berenstain Bears children's book that talks about that's what you should do in the morning instead of watching the news on television is sticking your arm out the window.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's one way to find out. My point is the weather might be nicer and you guys might want to get out. This weekend and in the week to come, there's quite a few things happening. I should mention what's happening tonight. First of all, St. Vincent, who is a really cool singer guitarist. Her real name is Annie Clark. She was at Bonnaroo last year playing with Talking Heads, David Byrne of Talking Heads fame.
She kind of looks like Lady Gaga in this picture.
She does, but she's, and Lady Gaga's talented too, but you should see this woman play guitar. She's amazing. She's at Marathon Music Works tonight, so you can check that show out. And we're actually going there to shoot some photos. You'll see that in print next week, and we'll have a gallery up also.
On Monday, you can do the Lady Gaga comparison for yourself.
That's right. Also, today and Saturday, there's a play called Foreigner in Franklin by the Bethlehem Players. You can see performances of that at 7 p.m. today and Saturday. The piece, which follows an introvert who tries to avoid interactions by pretending not to understand English. That's a good strategy. I like that. Features Johnny Peppers, Candace Peppers, Mark McNulty, Brett Myers, and the list goes on and on. Sorry if I didn't call your name. Also, on Saturday at Zany's, which is Nashville's home to not only, comedy, of course. It's Nashville's most famous comedy club, pretty much the only one. But it's also home to pretty regularly soap opera stars coming by.
They like it.
Yeah.
They like it.
It's a really interesting thing about that. And maybe that's not unique just to Nashville, maybe comedy clubs.
I have no idea.
Who knows? But you know a bit about one of these guys. It's 4 General Hospital stars, heartthrobs, as it says.
It says heartthrobs.
Yeah.
So Scott Reeves is one of the guys. Scott Reeves used to be on The Young and the Restless. He played Victoria's husband years and years ago, maybe even when I was a kid. I don't want to date him or whatever, but a long time ago. Anyway, he used to be in a country duo called Blue County, and now he's apparently joined forces with some of his acting cohorts. And maybe they'll sing about, stethoscopes or something since they're from General Hospital.
Covers of classic rock songs like Living on a Prayer and Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Well, that's way better than stethoscopes.
There you go. Tickets are $50, $125 for VIP, and $200 for Platinum Access. I'm sorry, $200 for Platinum Access. I'm sure you'll have a great
Maybe
night.
You get an exam.
Oh, probably. That's possible. Let's look ahead to next Wednesday at the Ryman, the Sing-Off Tour. The Sing-Off, of course, is the popular another singing competition show, except this one's all about a cappella groups. No backing music. It's a group of people all making music with their mouths. The guys that won this year are from Minnesota. They're called Home Free, and they actually specialize in country a cappella covers.
Very cool.
You should hear their cover of "I Want Crazy." It's something.
I bet it is.
So they were very popular. They're going to be at the Ryman on Wednesday with a few other choice favorite acts from last season, I believe. I bet if Ben Folds is in town, who's one of the judges on that show, he'll probably show up and hang out. So that could be something cool. One last thing. Speaking of the Ryman, which is a very historic, esteemed, long-standing music venue in downtown Nashville, you would think from the start of this piece that Peter Cooper wrote today, gorgeous downtown building where they used to have the Opry. Ernest Tubb, Roy Acuff, Bill Monroe played there. So did Aretha Franklin. We're talking about the Ryman, right? No, we're talking about War Memorial Auditorium, which has been around for 89 years now. And thanks to some hard work of some people over there, they've renovated it. They've kept it a viable, very relevant music venue. And there's a show there tonight actually called the band's called Bring Me the Horizon. It's a very hardcore kind of metal show, which if you're into, you might want to check that out. Anyway, Peter Cooper did a great story about it. We have a photo gallery and a video tour of the place. So you should make plans to check this place out. Their website's at wmarocks.com. So check out that website and also just make plans to see a show there sometime soon. So that's all on Tennessean Music, Tennessean.com/music. You can also follow us on Twitter at TN Music News. It's been a great week to be back. Lots of busy stuff happening. Cindy, thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
I might see you next week. We'll see. Because we're going to be talking about the Opry has an anniversary coming up, right?
They do next week. Next weekend at the Opry is their 40th anniversary celebration at the Opry House.
Yeah, the Opry House is 40 years. Gotcha.
Opry House is 40 years old. People are super excited. I've talked to everyone from Blake Shelton to Jeannie Seeley, who apparently wore a crop top and bell bottoms the night of the first Opry show there 40 years ago.
Hey, 1974.
And the president called her out on it. She's hoping that President Obama will stop by on Saturday night, although if that's happening, it hasn't been announced yet.
I think Obama might be a little cooler with it than Nixon was,
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you can look forward to that next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great weekend.